Hey there, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to the Smack Raw Podcast, your one-stop shop for all your NXT, WWE, AEW news, recaps, pay-per-view predictions, all that other good stuff. My name is Vince. I'll be your host today, as usual. I got my good guy Aaron over here from meanjellybean Productions, right? Did I get it right?
Hey, you got it right.
Hey, there we go. It took me like three tries, but go
Yeah.
ahead, check out their YouTube channel. Funny stuff over there. Great content. I recommend hand sandwiches and HJs. My favorite video so far. But we are here to talk NXT. We are a pro wrestling podcast. You guys can go ahead and find us wherever you consume your podcasts, and where you do, go ahead and give it a listen, and also download to help get the numbers up. And if you're on Apple Music, go ahead and give it a 5-star rating and give it a review to help the algorithm, so we can get found by more people and help the exposure and get more content for you guys out there. And also, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and give it a subscribe, give it a thumbs up, turn on the bell notification so you know when a brand new recap is going up, and comment down below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's NXT episode. It was a very eventful show. Just 5 matches, but it didn't need too many matches. There was an overlapping story throughout the entire show, but let's get right into it, man.
Go.
Overall, NXT in a nutshell, what you thought about it, man?
I think it got back on track because remember, we had our first shit on NXT show last week, but yeah, no, like everything was subtle too. Like I'm glad that they didn't because last week was so down. I'm glad they didn't try and just throw gasoline on it immediately and get it going. It was just small little subtle things, but the momentum was there. You could feel the energy in the building for sure.
Oh, definitely. And I want to say it wasn't us just shitting on NXT. It was more tough love, I would like to say, because we want it to be good. Just like any good parent, you want your children to go out there and prosper and succeed. And NXT, we treat it like that, man. It's our baby, man. It's our favorite show. Obviously, that's why we're covering it. And
Absolutely.
I thought what it was last week, it was more of a filler episode. When you watch anime or TV episodes, you'll have a filler episode. So it wasn't a bad episode last week, but today I think they really knocked it out of the park. A lot of good storylines got progressed. The big one was, and it was the Undisputed Era with Broserweights and Ciampa, and that's actually how we started off. Broserweights came out in the pimped out golf cart. What you thought about that, man?
I was here for it. I dug that. I've said this every week on, but these are my two favorite guys. I've been here for this for the beginning before they got on the tag team. I'm all in on the Broserweights for sure.
Oh, for sure. And what I love about them is that they have this weird dynamic. It's kind of like Goku and Vegeta. Like Pete Dunne's like the serious one, and then the more laid back guy is Matt Riddle. And I think they play off and complement each other very well. They have a lot of great chemistry. And I love the weed innuendos from both guys. They both throw them in there. I love it. I love the innuendos.
And that's the thing. I didn't it's not that I didn't think that they would mesh. I thought that they're the two best, to me, they're the two best in ring.
Right.
But how quickly they fucking gelled and came together like a goddamn Megazord or some shit. It's just it feels like they've always been a tag team. You don't have that oh, this is a thrown together team. Their gear matches, their music. I hate when they do that mass up music shit. That's the only complaint I kind of have. But besides that, they even got the tandem pose, matching gear, tag team moves out the ass. It's literally like they've always been a tag team. Like I said, I'm fucking here for it, yo.
Yeah, like you were saying, that's one thing I did notice is that the Broserweights theme song was basically like the beginning of Pete Dunne's theme song, and then the transition to Matt Riddle. I'm hoping that it was just what's it called? It's like a bait and switch where we thought they were coming through the stage and then they came out through the side with the golf cart. I'm hoping that it's a one-time thing and that it'll be just Matt Riddle's theme song going with it, because I feel like that fits way better. But
let's be honest, bro. It's WWE. That's not how it's gonna be. They're gonna do that stupid ass start off in one person, then goes to the other. That's what they do on these tag teams when they throw them together. It's
right.
I hate it. I hate it.
True, but I don't think I've seen NXT do it too often. I don't think NXT's done that at all. I think NXT just has a track record of not doing that. So I'm going to give it a benefit of the doubt because it is NXT. So we'll see what goes on.
Done it. They did it with Ciampa and them before they became DIY and had that one set of music. They've done it before.
No, actually, what it was with DIY is they had their DIY theme song, and then when they split up, Champa just had no theme song for a minute, and
Yeah, just
Gargano had like a
kind
remix
of,
version of DIY's theme.
yeah.
So no, man, I'm gonna stay here and defend this case. I'm not with you with it. But we're feeling Broserweights. We think they're great, but someone who isn't really feeling them is obviously Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly come out. They're not happy about the whole situation. They make it seem like they're going to go ahead and engage in fisticuffs with Broserweights before Roderick Strong comes out, and he's just like, you know what, don't even do it. We got bigger fish to fry. We have other and I think that's actually something that Bobby Fish said. He's like, we have bigger fish to fry. Which
because remember Matt Riddle brought it up. He was like, Bobby Fish said something about fish or some shit. And then he went on that fish rant.
Oh my gosh, he threw out, what was it? Could Bobby Fish?
How much fish could Bobby Fish fish if Bobby Fish fished or something?
No, oh yeah. How many fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? And he got the entire crowd chanting it, which is hilarious, man. Dude, I can't say anything bad about.
I feel bad talking about him because that shit is corny as hell. And 9 times out of 10, half the shit he says doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But everything he says, I'm eating that shit up like fucking French fries. Like I can't stop. Like right. I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I put in a group text that we have today. Mm-hmm. Like I met him a couple years ago, and like he is that. There is no character. Like
right.
That's him. Like he talks like that. Like everything about him is his fucking character. Like, and it was so dope. Like seeing him, the character that we see on TV now on NXT. He was sort of that in Evolve, but this NXT character is literally him in real life. Like it's legit. Like I said, I love him. I mean, I can't get enough.
Oh, for sure. And I like the whole dynamic. Right now, maybe I'm just what's the word I'm looking? Victim of the moment, or what's yeah. And right now I'm just like really like buying into the Broserweights hype, and I feel like they might just go ahead and get those titles, man. It looks like it's going that way.
My next question for you, like, what do you think is like the long-term plans for them? Do you see them being an actual long-term tag team, or are we gonna get that bullshit? One of them turns on the other one, like every tag team does.
I don't know if we'll get like a turn so soon, just because they are catching on. They just released a T-shirt. Obviously, that doesn't mean too much because Y2AJ was a T-shirt, and that didn't last too long. They have their own Titantron. I think what might happen is they do get the titles eventually and then drop them back to Undisputed Era or some other tag team around Mania season. I give them like a good 2 months running as a tag team before they go their separate ways, either through Pete Dunne going heel or they just like deciding to go into their own endeavors, you know. That's
while you're saying that, I got something. I do have one bad thing to say about Matt Riddle.
Okay.
And I didn't think about it till just now. When you said they're Titantron, his fucking gear is trash.
You didn't like the
not the gear, not his gear. I'm sorry, not his ring gear, but his merchandise, his T-shirts and shit. They are garbage.
Oh, okay. Yes. I totally agree with you, man.
Like I got 2 or 3 shirts. I got the Bro NWO shirt. I got the one with it look like a spray painted face. It's like I have 2. No, I got the Ninja Turtle one too. And like every time I go in there to buy a Riddle shirt, the stallion with the hair, the original Bro that looks like an Affliction shirt, had me walking around looking like one of them douchebag dudes. Like it's like his Pete Dunne too. Both their shirts are garbage.
Yeah, so I think that's not necessarily a knock on them. Just like
no, it's not. But I mean, I had to have one bad. I couldn't think of any like criticism for Matt Riddle. That was the only. I criticism I had
because you said gear. I thought you meant ring gear. I was like, I know you're not shit talking him coming out with the Chicago pinstripes tonight.
No, his ring gear is always dope shit. He had the Yankee pinstripes on before too. So.
Yeah, there you go. Hey man, maybe that's why we hype him up so much. He's out here repping our sports teams. That's probably why. I think he might have had like a Knicks one too, if I'm not mistaken, or just like an orange and blue one.
Oh no, that was I think that was Phoenix. He had the purple and orange.
I don't know, man. I might look it up, but that seems like something he's done.
Was that Royal Rumble last year? I think when he went against Cassius Ohno.
I think so. I believe so. I think it was Phoenix. No, I think it was Ono that came out with the Phoenix. Phoenix was.
Yeah, I know it was one of them.
Because Ono likes to come out repping the Chica, like the NBA jerseys as well,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
one thing that I like about Ono. And I miss the guy on NXT. That's one thing I do miss.
I've seen him a bunch of times. So he's from where I grew up, Dayton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him a few times back in the day. Like I saw him when he was the wife beater.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, we definitely need to go check out some more Cassius Ohno on NXT, man. We definitely need that. But let's move on. So we had the whole Broserweights and Undisputed Era thing happening. Obviously, they had bigger fish to fry. They're trying to go ahead and get revenge on Ciampa for him laying them out last week. So that's the overlapping story in the entire show. But like, let's move on. We had Angel Garza returning, which to me it was a beautiful, pleasant surprise. I'm the biggest Angel Garza guy out there.
I know that's your guy.
But we had one of your guys. He was facing Swerve Scott. This was a killer match, man.
That match had me glued. I was even watching it when they had the commercial going and just a little screen on the side. I like brought my chair up a little bit closer,
right?
So I could watch it. Like their chemistry is just off the fucking charts. I mean, I don't know what it is about it, but like when they get in there together, I mean, it's hard hitting. I mean, the moves are innovative. Like, I mean, their chemistry is undeniable.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there, man. When you put two great wrestlers in the ring, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna put on a great match every single time. And both of these guys are phenomenal wrestlers. I know you were a little bummed with that Swerve didn't get the win here, but I think they're still trying to build up Garza. I don't think he's gonna be sticking around in NXT or the Cruiserweight division too long.
And that was my main thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like Swerve should have won because Garza just took the loss for the title. But I also forgot that they already bumped him up to Raw, so like they can't have a Raw guy losing to an NXT guy. So that made the loss a little bit easier to swallow. And like I said, like if it wasn't Swerve, I probably would have been rooting for Garza because it's the same thing. Like just something about, even though he's a heel, like everything about him is believable. I even like that stupid ass shit ripping off his pants. Like I get hyped for that too. I ain't even gonna lie.
I think he might need to get new pants because both on Monday and tonight he had like a little different. They didn't come off as smoothly. He needs to break in those pants. That's what it is, man. He needs to break.
Well, I think what it was because like the first couple of times he did it, they were coming off before he got a chance to rip them off, like on the sides. Like up top, like it was maybe his first or second match when he did it, when he had like the red pants on, but then he had like the white chunks under.
Right.
They were it was like kind of coming off. So he probably tried to get some sturdier shit, and now it's too sturdy.
Right. I think what it is that like some of these pants he's already had in terms of just like a ring gear, and he would always just take them off that way.
Yeah.
It's just like Christian back in the day, you know how he had the baggy pants and just like rip them off, kind of like you're going into a basketball game or something. But I guess when he got into NXT, someone told him like, no, wrestle with the pants and then take them off. And then now, since that's become his gimmick, he's out here getting new pants, and I think the black pants are definitely new, and that's why he's having some trouble getting them fully off because he's breaking them in, obviously.
But the thing about that is, we're back to what we were talking about. Maybe my first episode is he a heel or not?
Oh, he's totally. The thing with him is that he's a heel. It's hard to notice in NXT because NXT just gasses everybody up.
Cut the Raw part out. He's definitely a fucking heel on Raw. I mean,
I think he's a heel in general, but
like I said, cut the Raw part out. Just pretend like Raw never happened.
Okay.
He didn't fuck up Humberto and Ray.
Right.
On NXT, what has he done that is heelish? And that ripping off the pants, the crowd goes fucking nuts for it every time.
I think, well, for one, I think he was attacking Leo Rush's wife. You know, he's targeting his family. He does heelish things. You know, it's implied that he's a heel. He hasn't done anything.
That's where it is. Like, that's where me and you kind of, we don't disagree literally about fucking anything pretty much, but that's where we're at on, like, to me, that's the glaring weakness I think that NXT has, is that there is no declared heels or faces. The faces do bad things. The heels do good things. Like, there's no cut and dry, because even the Undisputed Era, that fucking boom, like, me personally, I just love heels anyway.
Right. But
everyone boos Adam Cole. They hate him. But when he does that boom, the whole damn crowd does it. And when he does Adam Cole, baby, the whole crowd does it. these are things that a real heel, you shouldn't be pandering to a crowd when you're a heel.
No, I get that.
Like that's why I love Baron Corbin, because he is a heel. Everything he does, from social media to when he's on screen, everything is to make the crowd hate him. That's the type of, like, I hate to be like, say I'm old school, even though I'm not old enough, but like I like that distinction between a good guy and a bad guy. I hate this tweener shit.
I don't think. I think the issue is that we've evolved into a stage of wrestling where, like, it's just cool to like cheer on like the the good guy, or I mean cheer on the bad guy.
I'm not disagreeing with that part at all. Like, that part is what it is. I mean, that's always going to be a thing. Like I said, I cheer for the heel no matter what, but I want the heels to actually do some heel shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, kick somebody while they're down, beat somebody up in the background, attack somebody's wife or loved one or something, spit in somebody's face if you have to. Like, just laughing at each other and like talking shit on the mic. That's not heel stuff to me.
Well, to that point, Undisputed Era did go out around and just cause mayhem backstage. Yeah. So let me pose this question to you: do you think it's the product, like that whole thing is a product of the environment? Like, let's say you move this to Raw and SmackDown, and then it's the same thing. Do you feel like the crowd would be acting the same way? Do you think they'd be reacting towards the Undisputed Era more towards how Baron Corbin gets reacted to?
No, I think it was actually funny because it was Bubba Ray or Bully Ray, whatever the fuck he is now, on Busted Open Records radio, his podcast. They were saying the same thing. It's like, there's only, if you really think about it, there's only a few people that are heels on either one of the shows. But he was saying that the WWE doesn't create heels or faces. They create superstars. So even if you are a heel or a face, they're more concerned about you selling shirts and you selling tickets and making people want to come see you. Right. And that's what I think some of the wrestlers are about, that life too. Because like I said, there's only one Baron Corbin. There's only one person on that show you know for a fact is a heel. He gets booed no matter what he does. Like, he goes out of his way on social media and everything to be booed. Everyone else is looking for that pop from the crowd. And it's on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Like, to me, and like, I guess that's the only disconnect I have with WWE.
Okay. I mean, personally, right now, I guess me personally, I don't like to, like, that doesn't really affect my enjoyment of the product, but I could see how it would bug someone like you or someone that's been watching it. Like, they're a little bit more older, or maybe they just have a certain taste and want their wrestling a certain way. On the plus side, though, guys like Baron Corbin is keeping that alive. And recently, Randy Orton, he's just turned into heel #1 after the attack on Edge. Yeah. So I think we can still see it. I think they're few and far between. You're totally correct on that, man. But let's move on here. Obviously, like we were discussing, Angel Garza picked up the win here. He got on the mic, and afterwards he said, "I beat Swerve. I took out Ray and Humberto. I didn't lose my title. He didn't get technically, of course, he didn't get pinned in the Fatal 4-Way. And he said he wanted Devlin back. He wanted Devlin. He wanted his title back, and that's his goal. That's his main objective." Yeah. So we don't know if he's going to continue to be showing up on Raw or if he's just a placeholder until Andrade returns from his suspension.
He got a 30-day, didn't he? So I think he's just a placeholder until Andrade comes back.
Ideally, hopefully they do bring the guy up and they just are using this for him to wrap up his storylines, because NXT doesn't like to, okay, we're going to scrap this. We're not doing it anymore. We're done. Like Raw, they just kind of scrap the Rusev storyline.
When they really bring him up, I think they're going to put him on SmackDown. I don't think they're going to have him and Andrade on the same show.
I disagree there. I feel like they might be forming a little faction of sorts. Like, or
the only reason I'm saying that though is because Fox, they're trying to get like every demographic, and they definitely want that Latino aspect on Fox, and right now it's lacking. They got the Lucha House Party bullshit, but I think Garza, he doesn't have a mask. He speaks English good, and that demographic that they're shooting for, that's why I think they're going to split them up.
Here's the thing. USA has kind of finessed Fox, and I'm sorry, I think Fox just looks like, oh, okay, fine, we have 3 Mexicans on the show, 3 Latinos, whatever, that's enough. We don't really care. They don't really pay attention that much, I feel like. I don't think that's an issue. I feel like Like Paul Heyman's the kind of guy that once he gets somebody, he's gonna hold on to them. He's not letting them go.
And I wasn't necessarily talking about Fox, because now with Pritchard running that, I think it's going to be an arms race between.
I think they already lost. I think they already lost because Garza's already on Raw. I think they've already lost that point.
Oh yeah, me personally, I think the better talent is definitely on Raw.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
For sure.
For sure. But let's move on with NXT. Like we were saying, Undisputed Era was going out looking for Ciampa, and at some point they were just in the backstage area questioning everyone, and this poor guy was getting a damn haircut, and Roderick Strong pulled the most dickish of moves and shaves the guy's head, like for no reason. No need.
That first patch, I couldn't even watch after he took that first, said you missed the spot, and took that first chunk out. I couldn't even watch that shit. Somebody did that to me. Somebody's got to die.
Oh, see, yeah, man. See, you don't mess with a man's hair like that. I'm sorry. Like, it's funny to say because it feels like not too many women feel like men care about their hair. But here's the thing: if you ever have a guy go zzz, buzz cut you and right down the middle, oh, it's gonna be fisticuffs, man.
Somebody got to die.
For sure. Okay, so we had that going on, went to commercial, came back. Dominik Dijakovic comes out, has a match set up with Killian Dane. Apparently this was set up.
Where did this match come from? I mean,
so the way it was set up, they tried to make it seem like backstage in the Performance Center somewhere. Killian Dane took offense to Dijak saying that he was next in line for the North American title, and he said, no, if you want to get to that title, you have to get through me. And he's like you're in my way. And then Dijak was basically saying like, oh, okay, so if you want to fight me to get to that title, that means you're in my way. That means I'm going through you. So, and that's kind of how they set up this match. It was a somewhat competitive match. I thought it's all right. I wasn't too invested in it just because, honestly, I'm just going to say it, I don't really care too much about Killian Dane. So any matches that he's in, by default, I'm just like a little less invested in them.
Well, my thing with it is like they played him up to be this monster, and then you saw what he looks like next to a real monster. Yeah. So like for me, like all that monster credibility went out the window where he barely came up to Djokovic's fucking titty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
And then the spot where he picked him up on the ground, he picked him up, put him on his shoulder, and literally Djokovic's whole body looked like it went down past Killian Dane's knees. I was like, yeah, this I don't think this went the way they thought it was going to go.
And it was really mostly, I think, just like a match to solidify Dijak, because he gotta win over Damian Priest last week. He gotta win against Killian Dane this week, and it looks like they're just trying to give some credibility to the guy. And he won the match, obviously. At one point, Killian Dane's in the corner trying to do I guess the bonsai drop or something.
Yeah.
Dijak comes in, takes the legs right under him, hits him with the Feast Your Eyes, 1, 2, 3, and he's walking now. And as he's walking up the ramp, Mauro Ranallo confirms that William Regal has made it official at TakeOver Portland. We will have Dijakovic versus Keith Lee for the North American title, and my boy Keith Lee, he comes out face to face with Dijak, and we're gonna have a renewal of this rivalry, man. These two guys, they go in the ring, man. They just crush it every freaking time.
We called this, didn't we, last week or the week before?
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of easy to see where it was going. It's not a bad thing sometimes to know where things are going because it's going into something really good. And TakeOver right now looks stacked, man. It looks stacked.
I think it's too with Djokovic or whatever. Like, I'm starting to feel him a little bit more. I know I was kind of shitting on him and Keith Lee going back at it, but I think really my main complaint is that gimmick. Like, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
Because he in the ring. Like, I'm like, I mean, he literally does some cruiserweight shit. Like what do you do? The dive, the cannonball dive off the stairs on the Killian and stuff. Like,
yeah.
And moonsault, it looked like his ass was about to kick the lights in the top of the arena when he did that moonsault. Like, I'm digging it, but I think they just got to either make him full out heel or make him full out just something else besides it. Because I don't know, I just don't get it.
Okay, so one thing that I did like was when he was doing the backstage stuff. They recorded the pre-tape stuff with Killian Dane. You got to hear his voice and where he was coming from, and it sounded more genuine. It sounded like we were talking to Dominic Dijakovic, the guy, and not this like whatever superhuman wrestler that he is. And I think that's the way you go with him. You just make him a freaking badass. You make him what Braun Strowman was supposed to be, but a very athletic version of it.
Yeah, because like when he was in Ring of Honor, like he had a decent mouthpiece, especially for being a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think more of it is too, especially with him being there with all those smaller guys. Let him just annihilate people, like this match. Like even though Killian Dane was a big guy and a big brawler, like he took it fucking to him and doing that, his feast your eyes and all that stuff, and then the moonsaults and stuff. Like give him more shit like that to, like you said, like differentiate him from everyone else. Like let him be that monster, but that athletic monster that can do everything those small guys can do. And I think if they start giving him better opponents, like Swerve and some of those guys, like where they can actually have like some back and forth and that big man, little man kind of complex, but then also show what he can do on the high flying side. Like I think that'll kind of boost him up a couple notches on the ladder as far as any of the titles or anything go, for sure.
Oh, definitely. I have high hopes for the guy. He's definitely won me over, and I can't wait to see what's up with him. Again, this match is gonna be dope. We'll see what happens with him. You just get, like you were saying, they had to do a little bit more of what you were saying and give him a little bit more of a mic. Let us get to know the guy, little bit more personality, just so we know who he is and why we should be invested in the guy. So you were saying,
I hate that he stopped doing the feast your eyes shit. Like my daughter even used to do that when he first started out, doing the feast your eyes. You don't really do it. If you're gonna be that weirdo doing it, do it because come on, look, this big ass giant dude telling you to look at his eyes. Like I dug it at first, but then he kind of like, all right, it's not there. It was just the name of his finisher now.
Okay, so I think what it is that he does it kind of like to call out his, like when he's gonna go for the finish, like when he's about to go for his finish, he'll like feast your eyes or whatever. But because the last couple of matches he's been in, he's hit the finisher from out of nowhere or transitioning into the finisher, so he hasn't had the opportunity to call for the finish and then go for it.
He would do it. Well, he would do it like as he came out the ring, he'd do it, and then they put the on the screen looking at it. And then he'd do it once he got in the ring, like with his robe and stuff on before he took his robe off.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant.
You know what I'm saying? So then it gets the crowd in. They're doing your shit. You're getting your shit in. Like he hasn't done that, I don't know, since maybe the first or second match with Keith Lee, and that was how many months ago?
Maybe, just trial and error. Maybe just trying some stuff. Maybe he'll bring it back eventually. We'll see, man. There's still some time, but
I got high hopes for him, though, for sure.
Definitely. So, like you were saying, he was out here just like, you want to see him just go out there and just beat people up and just do some stuff crazy like that. But Undisputed Era were doing that themselves. They're again, more Undisputed Era shenanigans continue in the backstage area. They confront Kushida. They're like, hey, have you seen Ciampa? And the guy's like, you know what? No, like, you're not gonna bully me. He goes and just starts throwing down. I'm like, damn, Kushida, he didn't even like wait for a whole sentence to come out. So he goes ahead and hits Cole. He gets ganged up on by the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole hits the Attitude Adjustment into a damn like container, trash bin container.
I was like, damn, why they doing like that?
Yeah, I'm over here like, man, y'all did my boy Kushida bogus, man. And then,
but the thing I liked about that was, in some real life shit, if you know these guys are beating people up every time you see them together in a real life situation, that's what you would do. You would try and hit one of them first to get the hell out of there. Like, that's why I feel bad that it was Kushida that they fucking dumped in the recycling bin.
Right.
But it made sense, like it was real. Like, you're not gonna sit there and go back and forth with them. You know what they're about to do. They're just trying to get around you so they can jump you from all sides. Take out one, keep it moving.
And what I liked about that is that almost immediately Bronson Reed just steps into frame, and then they're like, whoa, big man, we got no problems with you. And then like Bronson Reed sees what they did to Kushida's like, no, we have issues, we have problems. And right before he can even do anything, Roderick Strong comes in and just knees him in the fucking side of his face.
Oh, that Roderick Strong, I love him so much.
Yeah,
like, man. I wish he was at least like 6'3" or 6'4". He would be the man. Because to me, out of all of them, like, I love Adam Cole. He's my favorite. in the group for sure, but purely in the ring,
I think Strong's the best.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Roderick he's the best out of all of them. Like his moves feel real, his strikes and everything look like they fucking hurt. Like everything he does, every move he makes, it looks like it has a purpose.
His wrestling style has a freaking gimmick too. He's the Messiah, the backbreaker. He has so many backbreakers. Like it's so cool. I love that.
And who he does them to, he does them to anybody. Doesn't matter what fucking size you are. His little tiny 5'7" ass still does it to everybody, and that is dope.
Yeah, man, and it's not even the same backbreaker. He has so many different backbreakers.
Yeah,
like
variations.
I love it. I love it. But okay, so the one thing that I can take away from this whole like shenanigans that he had going on with Bronson Reed is they did make the guy look like a total noob because he came out and just got sidetracked with one shot, just got knocked out with one shot. But here's the thing, that's realistic. If you watch MMA or a fight, like I'm sorry, if you and I are going at it, and then Kyle decides he's gonna knee me in the side of my my face when I'm not looking, that's gonna knock me out. I'm sorry. I don't care how big you are. That's gonna knock you out.
Even if it don't knock you out, that's gonna ring your fucking light. You're gonna be seeing them birdies like on on Looney Tunes. You're gonna be seeing some stars.
Yeah, definitely, man. So we go to commercial, we come back, and we have Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, side to side like interview with Mauro Ranallo. I personally loved it. Johnny Gargano roasting Finn Balor made the segment for me because he's out here like, oh, like bring NXT Finn Balor, don't bring Raw or SmackDown Finn Balor, the guy that like lost to Lashley like 15 times in a row or something. And you could tell Finn was like livid about it.
The reason why I love this is because these are your only two actual real baby face and actual real heel on NXT. And that's because Finn knows what he's doing. He's been doing this a long time. If he wants to be a heel, he is a heel. There's no in between. You don't have to guess. He's doing some shit to make you know he's on. And then there is no better baby face in the whole damn business to me when it comes to Johnny Gargano. Like, I want to hate him. I don't like any of his shit, that terrible ass. Well, it's not terrible. I actually love his theme song, but that corny ass, This Rebel Heart, I can't stop singing it when he comes out. Like, everything about him, I want to hate, and I would normally not like in anything else, but it is something about that little motherfucker that I just cannot hate. Like, I love him. I root for him. It does not matter who it is against. I still find my way somehow rooting for Johnny Gargano. Like, and I don't know what it is.
It's something about him within this. He's great of like selling that story of being like a victim in a match. Like he really makes you believe that he is going to die in that ring eventually. Like he sells it perfectly. You're right. Overall, like it wasn't too much. It was literally just a build up for their takeover match 2 weeks from now.
That was two veterans pushing a match and making you interested in a match and not even being in the same damn room or the ring at all.
Yeah, for sure. I loved it.
That's what that was. That was two professional wrestlers doing what they do best, making you feel something about a match. There's a good guy. There's a bad guy. You want to see what happens next.
I mean, maybe other than like Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, but this might be the match I'm most looking forward to. Other than Bianca and Rhea, this could be the one I look forward to the most, and this could be the best match to take over. To be honest,
if this was match of the year, I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. So another match that was really good. We're gonna move on. We had Mercedes Martinez having her singles debut in Full Sail University since, officially signing with NXT, and she was taking on the returning Casey Catanzaro. First off, man, what do you know about Mercedes and Casey? Do you know, what do you know about them? Because I'm trying to gauge you.
Mercedes, I know that her and Shayna were in they were in a group, and I always forget what that promotion was called. So I know
Shimmer here in Chicago.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know that they were a faction and stuff and everything, and to me, this was 2 years too late. They should have signed her when they signed Shayna and all them, to be honest. But I love her. I like her style. I like her movesets. I mean, I like the MMA kind of more like ground and pound kind of stuff. I dig that a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the thing about her is that she comes in and she maybe it's the fact that she's a savvy veteran and she's been doing this for a while, but she comes in and she feels legit. Like you
Yeah,
could put her in a title match tomorrow and I'll believe it.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay. So tell me about Casey. What do you know about Casey? What do you think about Casey?
I know she did the Ninja Warrior stuff. Like my son's really into it, so he was hype about that, seeing her on NXT and stuff. I love her. To me, I know she's like super tiny and all that, but I love if they could give her kind of that Johnny Gargano treatment
Mm-hmm.
and let her take some of the beat downs and let her come from behind. I think that they got a chance of making something with her for real. And then add that to her athleticism and that spinning code breaker. Like that shit was dope when she was first before she left. I don't know if she's still doing that now or not, but
She might
I
be.
dug that. Like her moves are I love her style.
Yeah, man. I'm really glad she's back and she's very like just like I guess her athleticism just like makes her very unique at the Royal Rumble. The way she avoided elimination, the way she comes into the ring is pretty cool because she climbs up the pole, the ring pole. So it's very cool. She's very unique, and what I liked about this is that it was a very fun match between these two, and it was an impressive showing by Casey. So the one thing about this match is that I saw Casey came back. It's Mercedes. It's going to be an easy win for Mercedes. It was a predictable win for Mercedes, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it was. She put up a fight. I thought it was cool. I liked it.
I think that's what this match was for, to get Mercedes a win, to let you know she's going to be somebody you need to worry about, but also making Casey look good. Mm-hmm. And, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't a squash match. It was letting you know that both these ladies are up-and-comers.
And, dude, man, this just goes back to NXT, how loaded their women's division is. At some point, they need to get Bianca and get maybe Rhea or someone else. They need to move 2 or 3 of these women to Raw and SmackDown because they desperately need that. NXT is so loaded. Like, just when you think, man, they have X, Y, and Z, then they go ahead and sign 1, 2, and 3. They go ahead and sign like other people. Like they just brought in Shotzi. She's super over with the crowd. I know you're not too sold just yet, but the crowd is apparently. Mercedes is phenomenal. Casey just came back. Chelsea Green is slowly gonna get built up, and Scarlett Bordeaux still hasn't even debuted. So like they're loaded, man. They're stacked.
I think to me that's probably the plan because don't forget we still got WrestleMania come up, and we know that at least 3 or 4 people are gonna. That Raw afterwards, that's always the jumping. Well, besides last year where they brought all those people up in January for no reason.
Right.
Normally the night after WrestleMania is that call-up time. So, I mean, me personally, I'm cool with them having the roster that they have. But my thing is, like, give the ladies some more time. Like, there can be more than one women's match per show. Like,
yeah,
a couple matches per show. I mean, you got the 2 hours now instead of having – Undisputed Era 15 damn times and Broserweight 20 times. Give that spot to women or a tag team, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they just need to have better time management on the women's roster, not just in NXT and all their shows. To be honest,
for sure. I mean, I think NXT does a little bit better of a job at it.
Oh,
like there's been shows where you have like 3 women's matches, 2 women's matches, or at least 3 women's segments, and okay, so you had the singles match, but they also announced that there's going to be a street fight at TakeOver between Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. We both were talking how this feud, this rivalry needed a little bit extra something. Maybe the street fight is what they need, and it gets more heat to this match. So that's where we're going to get at TakeOver, and we still have the Bianca, Charlotte, Rhea segment to talk to in a sec, but you mentioned Undisputed Era. Let's go ahead and just knock that out of the park right now before we get to the main event. Let's just get that out of the way. We had Ciampa. He ends up finding them in the backstage area. He takes out the Undisputed Era. It's just Cole and him. They brawl to the outside. They get to the ringside area. Then Undisputed Era come out. They regather themselves. Now they're all jumping Ciampa. They put him inside the ring. It's more kind of like a Nexus Wolfpack mentality. They're jumping the guy. Broserweights come in, make the save. Complete chaos, dude. Breaks down, and William Regal's like, you know what? If you guys want to keep going at it, we're going to settle it tonight. And he makes the main event a 6-man tag between Undisputed Era, Broserweights, and Ciampa. What you thought about the entire segment? Do you thought it was a little messy, or
No, it was messy, but it was a good messy. My only complaint is the same thing that they do every damn week with Undisputed Era, and it pisses me off. you're telling me that Ciampa can be, after they just beat the shit out of all these people, Ciampa gets the better of them every single time by himself. Then you're telling me there's 4 of them. The Broserweights come out and they got Roddy, who's the best wrestler all of them and kicks the shit out of people. Right. You're telling me those 3 can't be, those 4 are overmatched by Ciampa and the Broserweights. Like it pisses me off. And it's not even so much that I like the Undisputed Era.
Right.
Because I do love them, but it's the fact that you cannot keep on one hand tell us they're this dominant faction, they're running roughshod over everybody, and then on the other hand, every chance you get, 2 or 3 people beats the shit out of them. Like that's the one inconsistent thing that with them that they've done it the entire run. Yeah. They get their asses kicked too much and they get the jump on them too much. No, like you said, it should be that Wolfpack mentality. Yeah, they'll get their comeuppance, but it should be like some sneak stuff. They run in, hit somebody while they're in the middle of a match or talking something. Like, I hate that 2 or 3 people runs over these 4 dudes who you keep trying to set up as the top of your brand. They got all the fucking belts. Like, and I don't know, that part just sorry, I want to
no, it's fine. I agree with you there, because that's something I was thinking about bringing up, but I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. And I didn't really like the fact that, yeah, you know, Ciampa came and attacked him from behind, but eventually, like, look, I'm sorry, I can go and try to fight a group of 4 guys. I can sneak up from behind. I can get the upper hand at the start, but then I'm gonna get my ass whooped if I go.
Even if you take out 2 to begin with, there's still 2 more to take you out. Like,
and going back to when they were doing the 3 brand invasion stuff, the freaking OC came out and laid all 4 of them out.
Yeah, like right there in the damn hallway, a tiny ass hallway.
Yeah, exactly.
3 dudes took out 4. Like it blows my mind. Like, I know it's supposed to be like chicken shit heels, and I get that. But it's just sheer force of numbers, bro. Like, the numbers don't lie. Like,
yeah, no,
I don't get it. It pisses me off every week.
No, it's fine to get a little like upset about that and just get irked about it, because it is like a little pet peeve of mine. But I try to brush it out of the way, man. It's like, you can't sit here and just constantly have this issue with certain stuff, because at the end of the day, they're gonna still do it, and it's just gonna drive you crazy. So I try to like.
That's the only thing we got to complain about on NXT. I mean, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, the complaints are few and far between with NXT.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the next match. We had Jordan Devlin finally making his Full Sail debut. He had a match against Tyler Breeze, who is now a 205 Live cruiserweight, and he comes out, he makes his entrance, and just as he's like laying down on the apron, he gets jumped and attacked by Devlin. And the match starts off that way. We cut into break, and Morrow's like, oh, you know, when we come back, Devlin versus Breeze, maybe we'll see what happens. And we do come back, and it was an amazing match. I thought it was a really, really good match. I'm still not sold on Devlin, though. I know he's a great wrestler. I like him as an in-ring wrestler. As a character, I'm not invested just yet. I have to see a little bit more of him to, like, really...
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I'm not going to hold you for that, because most people don't know who he is because he's from NXT UK, but... If you go back and watch some of those episodes, like, you'll understand, like, his character is fully fleshed out. It's just not fully fleshed out for people that haven't seen him yet. But that Irish character, like, he can talk on the mic. You see, he's awesome as hell in the ring. Like, he just needs some time. They need to give him some time on the mic and stuff and everything, so people like you that love wrestling, you can tell that he's a great wrestler, but you don't know enough about him. They need to give him that time, especially if you're going to hot shot him and throw the damn belt on him and then bring him over here. So like, I don't think he's going to match out the gate.
Yeah, so the way they mentioned it on commentary is that he's looking to defend that Cruiserweight title in the UK, in NXT, and 205 Live. So it looks like he's going to be pulling multiple duty. He's able to do that because NXT UK pre-taped their stuff. So he can go ahead, do a taping over there in the UK, come back for Full Sail or like wherever they're taping 205 Live and do that. So I guess I like it if they bring him more to the States and I see more of him. I might be more invested. The one thing I do notice, and obviously it's clear as day because he was trained by Balor, but I look at him and it's a spitting image of Finn Balor to me.
Like his body shape, everything, like his
gear, his mannerisms, his cut, everything about him just screams like Balor to me, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying like he's copying Balor or anything.
I'm gonna bring that up. That's who trained him, and that's probably who was pulling for him to get over here. And another thing too with his wrestling style is like, don't let his size fool you. Like he's not like Finn where he's just doing like kicks and punches.
No.
Like he does like his finisher that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that to a 400-pound dude.
Oh no, it looks like he can hit that on just about almost anyone. I'm not so sold just yet on that side suplex as a finisher. That might just be like a signature for me. He might need to get something better now that he's on NXT slash.
A lot of it is too. It kind of was botched how he did it with like it's how he does it. He literally like lifts you off of the ground into that,
Right.
and it kind of looks sloppy and shitty.
I mean,
with,
they did. He did it in the Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide too, and that's something I noticed too. I'm like,
yeah.
okay. I mean, it's an okay finisher. It feels to me more like a signature, to me.
Yeah.
But that's again me just nitpicking. Not a big deal. But definitely gets the win here. So they're building him up. I thought we were gonna get Angel Garza come in and just get a confrontation going with him and Devlin, but they might just do some pre-tape stuff and then show it next week. That's probably what they're gonna end up doing. I don't know if they're gonna.
Here's the question I have on that though, because Devlin's technically a heel too. Well, he was over in UK.
Yeah, I think he's still a heel over here on NXT, but it might be a case where in this particular feud, Garza might be playing the babyface just because he's so over with the NXT crowd.
I don't know, because I don't think they would have brought up the Rey Mysterio shit and all that if they wanted him to play the babyface. You cannot bring up taking out Rey Mysterio to any crowd,
right,
and expect to be babyface.
I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, it is a conundrum. We don't know where he falls in the heel face dynamic. Just like Bianca Belair, I know she's someone you've mentioned, and on NXT at least, it feels like she's a babyface or a tweener at the very least. She came out that we're supposed to have a Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair face to face, but then Rhea showed up on Raw, leading to Charlotte coming to NXT. It was a Bianca Charlotte Rhea face to face promo. Overall, I thought it was a fire segment. I loved it. I thought it was dope. All of them looked great, and Bianca didn't feel like the odd person out. To me, I didn't
like the star of it. To me, to be honest.
Oh yeah, to me, I felt like she shined brighter than both of them combined.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was my take on it. I loved how she pulled out the Mean Girls reference, where it's like, first off, you don't even go here, and then she's out here. She talks to Rhea, and she's like, "You out here talking about going to WrestleMania? Like, did you forget about me? So I love her. I think she's so dope. I think she's great. I think what might end up happening with this whole thing, hold up before I get there, what it was here is that they showed that Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair still have a respect for each other, because Rhea said like, look, like at one point I think Charlotte was like, oh, the champions are speaking, get out of the ring or whatever, and she's like, no, don't come in here and disrespect NXT because I didn't go to your show and disrespect your show. Like, Bianca Belair is the top star. She gassed up Bianca Belair, and then she's like, you might have here in NXT we have a saying, you might have forgotten because you haven't been here for a while, but the saying goes, we are NXT, and they team up together to do like a flatliner or flat driver or whatever it's called, move on Charlotte, take her out of the equation, and now they have a face-to-face confrontation building up their match at Portland. I think what we're going to get, like, the one big thing is that supposedly Charlotte was supposed to announce who she's going to face. It's clear as day she's going for the NXT title. The question is it going to be a singles match, or will Bianca be in the mix? I think what's going to happen is they don't usually do this in NXT, but it feels like this is what they'll be doing. I feel like we're going to have a banger match between Rhea and Bianca, and just as we're about to get a winner, Charlotte comes out and causes a DQ, forcing a triple threat match at WrestleMania between all three.
I think that if you put a gun to my head, I'd pick that would be the scenario. But my thing is, like, I think they're going to draw out this Charlotte picking who she's going to go against thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think it's going to be NXT in the end.
Oh, no?
I mean, like I said, if you put a gun in my head, then yeah, because they're going this route and they want NXT to have a presence at WrestleMania. So that's the perfect way to do it, especially with using Charlotte too. So all eyes are going to be on the match, no matter who she's with. But I don't know. I just see swerves coming because we still got Elimination Chamber and everything before then. So, like, I don't know. I just don't see them. I just don't see Charlotte fighting for the NXT title at WrestleMania.
We'll see, man. I mean, that's where it feels like they're going, but you never know. It's WWE. They like to change stuff up on the fly,
Yeah.
especially the main roster does. So, moving on from there, we do have our main event, Broserweights and Ciampa taking on Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era comes out. They get jumped from behind by Broserweights and Ciampa. Brawl to start things off. Overall, what you thought of how the match started and the match in general? Like, what you think? Did you like it, or like was there missing something?
It was decent. I mean, it was how every Undisputed Era match goes. Like, they have a formula for their matches. Three of them wrestle somebody on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, again, it just comes down to, I guess, them putting Ciampa on a pedestal that I don't think he deserves.
I think, man, dude, maybe we're just hating on Ciampa. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes
we're both thinking the same thing. It's not hating if we're both thinking the exact same thing.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I sit back, I'm like, are we just? Is this maybe just some really good shit, and we're just hating? Like sometimes that's something I wonder. I don't know. Well, overall, I thought the match was solid. Nothing too crazy happened. It had the standard Undisputed Era stuff. Like you said, they have a style and a method of how they like to go about their matches. Roddy causes distractions. That's how it goes into play. At one point, Ciampa does look like he's about to pick up the win. Roddy comes in, causes the DQ right before they can lose. That's another thing I don't like that you were saying that makes Undisputed Era look weak, is that they look very beatable, and right when they're about to lose, one of the other members comes in and causes the DQ before they can technically lose. And I know that it kind of keeps them strong because they don't lose the match, but at the same time, they do it so frequently that it feels like they're so beatable. That's the one thing I don't like.
I'm with you halfway on that.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, like, I don't mind the heels doing that to stop from getting a pin.
Right.
But my thing is, like, don't do it when you're getting your ass kicked and it does make you look weak that the guy from the outside had to come in and save you. Right. I wanted to be, they're beating the shit out of people, and they're just beating the shit out of them. The ref can't stop them. They're just like, this match is done. We just came here to beat y'all's ass. If it's that type of situation, then I'm here for it. I'm all right with it. So I guess I'll meet you halfway on that one. Like, I don't mind the DQ finish, but it can't be because Ciampa's beating the shit out of all of them at once. And so Roddy finally comes in at the end. Like that sequence, like he super kicked Riddle, super kicked
Dunn, Riddle, and Dunn.
Ciampa catches the kick and then clotheslines him and starts kicking his ass. Like I said, it's the formula is flawed.
Yeah, man. I mean, nitpicking, I guess. Overall, like it wasn't the Undisputed Era. They do end up getting control after the DQ. They take everyone out. They take out Pete Dunne on the outside. They hit like a brainbuster, like kick to the back of his head. I forgot what it's called. Chasing the Dragon. They hit the high low to Matt Riddle on the outside. They take out Ciampa. They spray paint an X on his chest. I thought they were gonna spray paint Undisputed Era, like a UE.
That's what I thought it was a UE, yeah.
Yeah, and then like then Cole just did like a straight line. I'm like, what? And then he did an X. I'm like, okay. I'm like, X marks the spot. He was saying like he was trash talking Ciampa. They were gonna set up.
Last week he spray painted the table and then put him through the table last week.
Oh, okay. So it's a callback. Okay, so that. Yeah. I know. I knew I was missing something. I was missing something for sure then. Okay, so it was a callback to what Ciampa was doing. Okay, X marks the spot because he was gonna hit him with the last shot, but right before he could, lights go out. The little like date on the Titantron shows up. The numbers go away. The circles form a logo. Dreams Titantron hits. He pops out of nowhere in the corner like Batman and just starts wailing on everybody. I loved it.
I loved it too, but it goes back to that thing, like it was one man versus four beating the shit out of them. Like, I dig it though, because I mean he had to have that fire, like he put him out. And I like that he concentrated strictly on Roger Strong.
Like, you could tell that they're still going with that feud.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean shit, he had his kid, his wife and his kid on his trunks and had Call Me Marina or whatever. Like,
call me up, Marina. Like so One thing about this is I'm gonna give it a little pass because I know we were criticizing earlier, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a pass because technically Undisputed Era were caught off guard, and that's where it came about. But still, again, one guy shouldn't be able to take out four guys. That's why you don't take out Dunn and Riddle. You know, you use them to like take them out. I love it because the thing about Velveteen with his pants, I love his gear because every gear is different and every gear is designed to play mind games with that opponent that he is currently facing, which is what I love.
I mean, you can see what I got on today. This was purely an accident. Go back and check the tape. I thought it was gonna be Ember Moon.
Oh, okay.
Gonna be Velveteen.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure you didn't just like go and throw that out from your closet? Didn't you like come prepared just in case?
I had it on all day, I swear.
Oh man, but I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Strong ending to NXT. Hopefully we're gonna see this storyline continue with more heat. And here's one great thing that NXT just did. They continued this feud because it got personal. It doesn't need the title, so they used the title in a different feud that could use it, like Heath Lee versus Dijakovic, because you can't just throw that match out again. You have to give it a reason why it's happening again. It's happening for the title now. So you did two things. So Strong didn't need the title at that moment. That this feud doesn't need the North American title. Velveteen Dream can say, you know what, North American title, that's my baby. You know, that's my title. I made that title. I will get back to that. But you took something from me, so I'm gonna take something from you guys. And he targets Adam Cole after this. Maybe he wins his feud with Roddy, and then leading into Mania season, that's who he targets is the NXT title and Adam Cole, and that's a matchup we haven't seen. And I think that's something we mentioned last week that we want to see Dream versus Cole.
Well, my thing is too, this also evens the score because then you got Ciampa versus Cole, you got the Broserweights with Fish and O'Reilly, and now you got him matched up to kind of take Roddy out the picture. So
for sure,
you can pretty much bank whatever money you want that it's going to be a 8-man tag between now and Takeover.
Oh, I think at some point it's gonna be an 8-man tag. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it next week. Okay, so I mean, I think that's everything we had to cover about NXT. Is there anything else you want to touch upon before we close up the show?
No, it was pretty much it. I mean, it was a solid show for sure. Definitely a B+, A- type of show. Like you could tell the difference when they have the main storylines and the big people in the show compared to when they try and do the secondary stuff. Like the show's just not the same.
Yeah, you know. Also, too, it kind of helps that like you had a big name like a Charlotte Flair showing up. You had a big return in Velveteen Dream. You have a very popular tag team in Broserweights just picking stuff up. You had Garza, you have Devlin, so you had a little bit of like everything for everyone. So so that's what I loved about NXT today. It felt like a melting pot. And which is
the
something
complete show.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm gonna say is that NXT next week's episode, it should be the go home show for Takeover, correct?
Takeover's the 22nd or something like that, isn't it? Or
is it? Because I think they said it was 2 weeks from Sunday or something, or a week from Sunday. I'll have to look it up, but if it's not next week, it'll be the week afterwards. So we're heating up towards
the week after.
So it's leading up to Takeover. So stuff is heating up. So that's why it feels like it's a better episode. But yeah, man. Overall, I mean, that's today's episode. I mean, let us know what you guys think on social media. You can hit up the show at SmackRockPod. You can hit me up at SES Vince. Arn, they can find you at what? At Mr.
984.
8984, Mr. 8984. You can find him on there. We're always talking wrestling. So if you want to live tweet with us, or whether we're watching Raw, NXT, whatever, tweet with us. We love to interact. Comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought. Again, if you're listening to this on Apple Music, go ahead and give it a review, 5-star rating, give it a download wherever you're listening to on any podcast. Give this video a subscribe, a thumbs up, everything, the whole shebang. Help us get to 100 subscribers. And I mean, that's today's show, man. We'll catch you guys next week for more NXT. Thanks, y'all. See you later.